Phone died earlier, but we shall carry on. So, I was at the point of talking about the, 100k, like the white stack level, the little bit above that, and I was progressing into talking more about the green stacks. And yeah, so I think I pretty much covered most of the white stack stuff. So at the green stack level, you should be able to sell each one, or each burnt food at 200 each, and and that's just like one of the commons. And then yeah, there's a listing. Like I was getting into, there's different levels of common and uncommon. So your commons, you have trout, which includes salmon and cod, tuna, lobs. Okay, yeah, I remember exactly what I was saying now. Shark, cara, but yeah, as a low-level player, you might be thinking, those, are the high levels. How can those be the commons? But if you look at how many you can actually burn on a certain level, then you're only going to be able to burn like so many of the lower levels, versus when you're burning or cooking the higher level foods, it's going to take longer for you to get to a level where they don't burn anymore. So it's more common to have a high amount of the high level burns than it is, like a lot of times, like for instance, there's the Rogue's Den, where there's an area where there's a bank literally like right next to the fire, and it will actually be faster to just go ahead and bank your burns than it is to drop them individually. So, if you've gotten to the point where you know where the Rogue's Den, you're using that, you're likely to be, cooking shark or those higher level foods, and you're going to amass more bulks of them like that, whereas the low level foods you're more likely to drop at some point. So in general, the lower level ones are more rare, unless you talk about you start getting into the specific things like the cakes, the stews, the kind of like not fish type stuff, pizza, which those are like your uncommons to I don't know, I'm gonna kind of put those kind of in the uncommon area, along with anglerfish, let's see what else. Shrimp is like a common uncommon. And what would go there is you got like herring, sardines, pretty much those. But shrimp is technically more sought after because it has more like a nostalgia value, because it's like one of the first things you do in the game. So like literally the first thing you do is you cook shrimp. So it'll have that nostalgia value of it's a level 1, so, and it is one that you can't just burn by putting on a fire. The two that you can do that with are cooked meat and chicken. And the The other level 1 is bread, which is a rare. I would even, in some cases, I want to label it just about a super rare, because you can only burn bread at level 1. Or according to one of my like collector sources that I paid to like burn them for me. And whereas shrimp you can burn all the way to like level like 20. Which is about the case I think with the others as well, but like I said, like the meat and the chicken you can just put on the fire again, but that's only those two, and it's because of the Witch's Potion quest. I get a lot of responses back when I'm talking about selling this about how can't you just put cooked food on a fire, and it's because they've done the Witch's Potion quest and they think that applies to all of the cooked food. It's not, it's only those. So yeah, then you've got like rare uncommon, which is like manta, cave eel, rainbow fish. Well, rainbow fish I might even still put it like uncommon. It's like kind of on a border between uncommon and rare uncommon. Stuff like that. And then actual rare, I think what blurs, well, okay, uncommon, rare, you also have like bird meat. Oh yeah, and there's sweet corn that goes in uncommon as well. But yeah, and there's a few others. So, but that will kind of, when you think about the characteristics that like these have and why they're uncommon or uncommon rare, like think about how, like with anglers, people do fish for them sometimes, but there's like a lot less areas for you to do it in, and it's for a shorter amount of time than you would work on the others. So you see, this is what makes them uncommon. Like it's like the things that you do either like just for a quest, or it's just something you just decided to do, but it or they might heal a certain amount of health that you want it to, or it might be because of the price point, but it's not common. Like it's not one of the ones you would normally go to cook normally. So then you're going to have to pay to get this odd item. So yeah, and then you get to rares. Now this is like stews, curries, that type of stuff, the stuff that's in a bowl. Like I said, I'd put bread here, maybe kind of bordering with like super rare. You've got that kind of stuff basically, and then super rare is you've got like jubbly, chompy, ruined chompy, ruined herb tea, which the chompy is ruined, by the way. Spider on stick, burnt spider. Well, not spider on stick itself, but it's kind of rare just to have that. But I don't know, it's not a burnt. So, so what else goes in rare? Or super rare, I mean, yeah. Burnt crunchy trays, batatins, umli, The reason Jubbly and Chompy are super rare is because they require a quest that's kind of tedious, and where you cook them, there's 2 locations to cook them. It's on a spit roast. You have to cook them one at a time. The raws for one of them, well, the raws for both of them are in the thousands just to buy one, and you know, you don't burn every one. So and then also it's an awkward location where you cook them, so you have to kind of walk an annoying distance, cook them one by one, and pay a lot for each one. So you can imagine why those would be more rare with, you know, all those requirements. So yeah, pricing varies a lot between collectors, but currently I feel like because they're not as well known, you can kind of, the pricing is still like way under what they're really worth for the time that goes into them. Generally, the buying price from just like, you know, buying from people at the Grand Exchange, because you don't know what you're going to get, you know. So when you make it, you have to say something that people understand what you're asking for, and you know, where they'll actually sell it to you, and then you have to also offer a price at which, you know, they'll sell it to you. So generally, uncommons people usually offer, just in general, just buying uncommons like 150 each. And rares just kind of they're like it's like if you buy like a booster pack and you get like the holographic in there, that's kind of the general, you know, how it works. And then like collectors decide between themselves how much they want that rare or super rare. I would like it to get to the point where you could advertise, you know, like burnt jubbly or, you know, ruined chompy or something, and people just know, okay, this is going to be, you know, like 100K or something for each one, because this is just, you have to pay so much to get one, and then you have to spend so much time, and then they only, you know, burn up to a certain point, even like when you get around that level, and then you have to think about how many you have to buy to burn one of those. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah. So that's mostly it on the guide, and I guess I would hint on also that kind of bracket system that I'm making for it, for maybe like trading, because what I found myself doing a lot is taking like commons and trading them for rares. I don't even see a lot of collectors doing that. Probably because it's kind of a risky move, because like the bigger stacks of the commons sometimes to some people can look more impressive than the uncommons. But then on the other hand, the uncommons are, you know, uncommon, and the rares are really rare to the person that ends up like, you know, getting why they're valuable, or, you know, really wanting it. End up really wanting it because it's a stack of an item that they, you know, haven't seen, or it's, you know, they don't have. So yeah, I'd also say like crushed gems kind of work in tandem with burnt food a bit. Like you'll see people buying burnt food and crushed gems because they're both this kind of throwaway item. And so, you know, there's a possibility to like trade burnt food for crushed gems or something like that, because they're kind of in the same category of items. So yeah, I think that's about it for the burnt food guide. Thank you for watching. I really hope that this, you know, broadens the your perspective of the landscape of old school RuneScape and what can be done with the items, and that you will enjoy your collecting ventures. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Talk to you guys later.